Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field for Interleague Soccer. St. Mary's girls taking on Salem Academy. This is the second appearance for Salem Academy here. They played St. Mary's earlier. St. Mary's beat them here. St. Mary's will be off to the state tournament after this. Salem Academy will be off to their charter school conference league tournament. They don't qualify for MIAA because they only play a few MIAA teams. They play mostly charter schools. Although their boys team plays a lot of MIAA teams and they qualify for the state tournament. St. Mary's is 9-6-2. Salem Academy is 10-5-3. And Salem has a couple of pretty good players. Lindsay Russell for Salem has scored 28 goals this year. That not counting assists. And Shamaya El Ashkar has scored 13, not counting assists. St. Mary's beat them fairly easily the game here. And St. Mary's would like to get, I don't know if it even affects St. Mary's being 9-6-2, winning or losing this game. And it's going to get out off Salem Academy. Mateo will take the throw in. Bouncing around and slicing it wide to the right and out of play. Eliza Brown in net for St. Mary's. Cindy Shihu for Salem. Kayla Demers broken up. Absolutely gorgeous day today. I had a jacket on walking my dogs, and I had to take it off because it was like 70 degrees. Demers takes it away with that speed. She's going to walk in. Walking in, and she bangs it home. She's an outstanding soccer player. She is so quick. If you watch all these girls' games, you heard me say many times, I would love to see her run a 50 or 100-yard dash. She just used her speed to go right by those kids and walked in, and she who had no chance to block it. And St. Mary's, in about 2.5 minutes, gets on the board. She beat the defense, held on, went right by everybody, and used that great speed, and just walked in alone. And when she does that, there aren't many goalies that are going to stop her. Diaz looking for it. Knocks it down the far side. Here comes Demers again. Tips it back. Knocked away by the defense nicely. At the end of this game, we'll be having senior day, or senior night, with both the boys and the girls' St. Mary's soccer teams. Cornell knocks it ahead, and it couldn't get a real good shot. I think that might have been Niccolo. Had it out in front and had to go to the left foot, reach and try to get just a little touch, knocking it to the net. Niccolo pushes it ahead, gets the return pass, knocks it deep for Cornell. Niccolo trying to center it, and I think there was O'Neill coming in from the far side, and she who just cut in front of her and picked her off so she couldn't tip it home. Niccolo again picks it off. And it gets tipped and knocked out by Salem. Cornell picks up the loose ball. Al Shakir knocks it away. From long distance, it gets deflected out by Salem. St. Mary's will get a corner kick. I believe it's Katie O'Neill going to take the kick. And before she does, she's got to go get the ball. They don't have ball boy or ball girls. So it's going to be a long run. St. Mary's has been like a mash unit all year. I'm looking over. They only have three subs on the bench. They've had people injured. And one of the big injuries was Morgan Mackey, an outstanding defender. She was all everything last year. State, New England, conference. She was out for a long time. And they've still got people out. Off the side of the foot. Niccolo lets it go out. And he'll give it to Mateo for the throw-in. And it wasn't Mateo, it was Lovett. Now out off St. Mary's. And Salem wants to go out off St. Mary's again. Thomas will take the throw-in. Demers takes it away. Niccolo has it knocked away. Knocked out by Olina. Lovett will take the throw-in. Hard to believe today with the girls playing Salem and the boys playing Salem that this is the end of the regular soccer season. I'm still wondering where basketball and hockey went last year, and we've gone through baseball and softball, and we're through the regular season with football, playoffs coming up. And now we'll be having playoffs coming up for the soccer teams. Niccolo boots it. O'Neill got a head on it, but deflected it away from the net and out of play. And Salem will get to kick it away. So it'll be St. Mary's girls, English, classical, and tech boys will all be having a second season with the playoffs. This being Wednesday, the pairings will probably come out Friday or Saturday. Cornell pass, gets it through. Niccolo breaking in, just reached and got a foot on it and kicked it wide left. Good job by Cornell. She had to shift her way through 2 or 3 defenders, finally got it out, made a nice pass across. Niccolo breaking, got a step or 2 on the defense, and got her foot on it, but couldn't direct it to the net. Knocked it wide of the net. And St. Mary's just dominating here in the early going. The first 10 minutes has been spent in the Salem end, and it's still there with Niccolo coming down the near side. Her shot. Shihu kneels down at the near post, feels it, and she'll kick it away. This is the first time that Salem has knocked it into the St. Mary's end. And very quickly they'll get it out of there. The pass goes out of play. St. Mary's picks it off. In the middle to Egan. She knocks it deep down the far side. O'Neill gets there first. Knocked away, and Salem will knock it out of play. From long range, one hop to Shihu. She picks it off and she'll kick it away. They bang it off El Shahir. O'Neill gets deflected to Cornell. Knocked away by Salem. They would just turn around, looked like might get a shot on net. Salem knocks it away again. And they knock it deep. And St. Mary's keeps it yet again in the Salem end. Demers with it. Back to Demers, broken up. She stays with it. In the middle. Shot blocked. Egan lined it up. Hit Salem right in the middle of the back with the shot. Morgan Mackey on the fly. Tip to the far side, trying to center it. Knocked away. St. Mary's gets it back. Blocked again by Salem out in front. And St. Mary's takes it away again. Down the far side. Out in front. Bounces loose. They got the shot off. She who made the save. There were bodies out in front. It got blocked. It laid there. Somebody reached around, got a foot on it, knocked it right in the midsection of Shehu. And I guess then they blew the whistle. And Shehu kicked it away. Get it into St. Mary's territory. And Mackey knocks it right back in the Salem end. Demers looking for Cornell in the middle. Salem picked it off. And Diaz looking for O'Neill, knocked it too far, it went out of play. Cornell in the middle. Lead pass again for Niccolo. Takes the shot. Looking for the far post. See who came out and made the save. And it's going to go out. And Salem was actually trying to save it, but it was going out off St. Mary's. So Thomas again will take the throw in. Back to Mackey. Egan broken up, gets it in the middle. Diaz knocks it ahead. Demers with a rush is going to get there first. She had Cornell with her. And Cornell spun, got the shot off, but she who made the save. She couldn't really turn around and face the goaltender and get a good hard shot off. Demers had to chase the ball down. By the time she did, there was a defender around Cornell. She got the good shot off, but she just shot it right dead center of she who made the save. Cornell trying to walk in, deflected away. She tipped it back, knocked away. Cornell takes the shot, knocks it high over the net and out of play. We got all three subs for St. Mary's coming in. They only have three. St. Mary's right back at it. Salem knocks it out. And they knock it out again. Cornell winds up with it. They tip it back. Egan's great shot. Under the top crossbar, inside the near post. She who made the very nice save. Good bid by Emily Egan. They knock it off Salem. Time we get knocked out by Melinek. They knock it deep. St. Mary's tracks it down. And then it gets knocked out. St. Mary's will get a corner kick. O'Neill will take it from the far side. Line drive it. Cornell got a piece of it. Salem knocks it away. And it goes into the Salem bench area out of play. Demers sneaks around, takes the shot. High, wide, and past the net and out of play. Good bid by Demers from the far side. Cornell winds up with it. Egan had it blocked. Salem trying to knock it upfield. O'Neill with it. Egan knocking it deep. She somehow got it through to Cornell. Nice little shift. Gets it around, puts it out in front, and trying to squeeze through a couple of defenders. I think it was Egan got a foot on it. Cornell did a nice job to set up the play. And then I believe it was Egan coming in, got a foot on it, and knocked it wide left. Halfway through and counting this first half, 1-0 St. Mary's. Diaz tips it ahead. Trying to knock it to the middle. She who comes out plays it at the side of the net, and she'll kick it away. Headed away by St. Mary's back in the Salem end. And knocked out by Thomas. Fritz with the throw-in. Cornell. They knock it ahead. Diaz trying to walk in. Lines up the shot. Sticks it inside the far post. It got deflected to her. She walked in and just stuck it inside the far post. So Diaz's goal makes it 2-0. They knock it deep. St. Mary took it away from Salem. And now St. Mary's hustles and gets it back. And they take it away again. Demers to Cornell in the middle. Slices it back. Shot. Nice save by Sheehu. That was Diaz again looking for that far post, trying to stick it inside again from about the 15-yard line. Sheehu made the save that time, and a beauty. That's about as deep as the ball has been in the St. Mary's end. And it was in the possession of St. Mary's. Demers gets around. Still with it. Walking in. Nice defense. Breaking up the play. I think that might have been Yulina. It was a perfect pass from Demers to Cornell breaking, but defense stuck her foot in and knocked it away. deflected away. Mackey winds up with it. Carries it down. Demers tips it around. There she is with that speed again. Stopping, going by. Still with it. Gave it to Diaz. Return pass got blocked. Diaz gets it back. A little behind the back action. Blocked, bouncing around a couple of times. Salem finally clears it away. St. Mary's knocks it right, keeps it right back in. They knock it across. Fritz. They get it in the middle. Slides by everybody there. Mackey broke it up. Diaz winds up with it. Demers centering it and getting there first. I think that was Melinek, I think, knocking it away. Again, they almost had Cornell set up out front all by herself. Blocked. They knock it deep, they knock it out. Salem has just been back on their heels. With 15 minutes and counting left, St. Mary's is totally dominant. They have 2 goals on the board, but they've totally dominated. Salem realistically has not crossed midfield. The ball has crossed midfield a couple of times, but each time he did, it was St. Mary's fielding it and knocking it back the other way. Mackey picking it off. Alashka knocks it out. Cornell winds up with it down the far side. Broken up by Alashka. Cornell gets it back, takes the shot. Couldn't get a lot on it. Missed the near post. Knocked it wide and out of play. Almost like a shooting gallery for St. Mary's. They're just lining up shots and taking them. Some on net, some not on net, but they're just not letting Salem get out of their own end. And Mary's picks off the pass. And they're right back at it. All the way back to Lovett. And it goes out off Egan. They knock it into St. Mary's end, but they can't get control of it. And St. Mary's takes it right back. It gets knocked deep. It gets knocked too deep. It'll go out of play. Salem will get the throw in. St. Mary's leading it 2-0. As we're closing in on 11 minutes left in this first half. Final game of the season for both teams. Both teams will be off for tournament. Salem Academy will be going to the charter school version. St. Mary's will be going to the MIA version. And St. Mary's qualified a little bit earlier this year. Last year they were getting down to almost like the last game where they needed a tie or a win, or the last couple of games. This year they get a little bit early. It's a very tough league they play in. So when tournament time comes, they're in pretty good shape because they are in Division 4. Salem takes it away, knocks it ahead. Lovett is there to give it back to Egan. Upfield to Cornell. Lovett to Mackey. Mackey carries it. Diaz knocks it deep. And Demers trying to use that speed, but I think it was Melinek who had a step on it, cut over and knocked it out. 10 minutes and counting left in this first half. 2-0 St. Mary's over Salem Academy. Salem's charter school. We got St. Mary's offside. It's the second in game. Both games have been here at Manning Fielding. Salem lost it to the girls here not that long ago. Lovett knocks it ahead. Niccolo back in with it. In the middle, Diaz trying to walk in to the far side. O'Neill trying to center it. Blocked and knocked away. Shot, they walked in. They left the ball laying there. And Egan just walked in and said, I'll take it. And she lined a shot, but she who was able to make the save. Skips past everybody. Love it. Knocks it ahead. St. Mary's takes it right back. Niccolo to Egan. We got a bump and a bang, and Salem Academy player got bumped around the head. She's down, but she's getting up, thank goodness. Pelletier, I believe. Run into, and they're calling it on Pelletier. Egan was going one way, and she bumped into Pelletier. Pelletier was the one that went down, and now they give the kick to Salem. They were going the other way, like they were going to give it to St. Mary's. So they finally get to kick the ball fairly deep into St. Mary's territory. And there's St. Mary's kicking it right back in the Salem Academy end. And I'm not sure why Cabot tried to save it, but it went off her and out of play. It would have been out off St. Mary's. So it just over St. Mary's, 3 ticks over 7 minutes left in this first half. St. Mary's leading 2-0. We'll get a timeout down the field. Megan Lovett will throw it in as we come back out of the timeout. 2-0 St. Mary's. Looking to make it 2 in a row over Salem Academy, both of them here at Manning. And it's been total domination by St. Mary's here in the first half. Demers, who has one of the goals, deflected back to Demers. Lead pass just skipped over the foot of Cornell. She tried to give it to Cornell out in front, and Cornell was breaking to the left. The pass was a little bit behind her, and she actually stepped over it. And she who will kick it away. Niccolo. And Niccolo again got a foot on it. Egan in the middle, knocks it to the far side. And Salem will knock it out of play. O'Neill will put it in play. Demers throwing it in front, knocked away. Demers gets it back. Trying to center it again, headed away by Malinek. And shot from long range. Everybody thought it was going to go in. She who went up couldn't get a hand on it, went over her head. Everybody thought it was in the net, but it was wide. Never made it inside that far post. Went out of play. And Mary just doesn't let Salem get going. They had the one free kick that they knocked it deep in the St. Mary's end. They knocked it right to Lovett, and she cleared it right out of the zone immediately. And they finally carry it in the St. Mary's end, and it gets broken up. They knock it deep. Lovett and Thomas. Lovett got a foot on it. And here's Russell. Russell's the one who's got 28 goals this year. That's the deepest penetration that Salem has had. And he didn't really have control of it as Lovett knocks it back. Cornell collects. Carries it to the middle. Knocks it deep down the far side. St. Mary's looking to walk in. Take the shot. She who came out, cut down the angle. O'Neill knocked it right in the midsection of She who, holding on to that far post. Blocked back into the St. Mary's end. In the middle to Diaz. Knocks it deep, looking for Niccolo. Good hustle. She saved it, kept it in. And I think they're saying Niccolo knocked it out. We're in the final 5 minutes. The clock is kept by the officials now down in the field under the new rules that were put in this year. Popped up. St. Mary's controls. They get it to Demers. Gets around a few people. Tries to line up the shot. It got blocked by El Ashkar. St. Mary's keeps it in. And it's been down this end virtually the entire half. And it's paid off for 2 goals for St. Mary's. Diaz takes it away, tips it ahead, Niccolo with it. Salem knocks it out, and I think St. Mary's going to get a corner kick. O'Neill will take it from the near side with time winding down in this first half. They knock it home. Cornell. She who made the save, it bounced off her. It was out in front. They tried to clear it. They gave it right back to Cornell, and she knocked it home. That's a tough goal to give up with time winding down. And that makes it 3-0 St. Mary's. This Salem team, they're young. They only have 4 seniors. Six freshmen. They have 2 8th graders. Niccolo pushes ahead to Mers. Try to give it back to Niccolo. Pushed it a little too far ahead. And it gets cleared away by Salem. Demers hustling. Cut in front and knocked it out. Can't be a lot of time left. Mateo pops it up. Cornell looking for it, trying to walk in. And it was Malinek got a foot on it and knocked it away. Cornell looked like she was going to walk in. Out in front, tipped, it's loose. And there's Cornell knocking it in again. Off the defenseman, it popped up and they couldn't clear it out. Cornell reached around with that big frame and just gets her second in a row. Those are 2 back-breaking goals to give up. And this is probably the longest 5 minutes we've ever spent. Well, St. Mary's has a big first half, scoring 4. And that's how big is that last goal? Cornell scores with probably 4 or 5 seconds left. The other one couldn't have been more than 30 or 40 seconds left. Back-to-back goals. Eliza Brown getting handshakes. She could have bought a ticket for this one. Nobody even came close to the St. Mary's net. Salem didn't even come close to getting a shot on net. Cornell's got a couple. Demers Diaz scored goals, and that's where we are. St. Mary's 4, Salem Academy nothing at halftime. Welcome back to Manning Field as we're set to start the second half. St. Mary's with a big first half. Susanna Cornell leading the way with 2 goals. Kayla Demers got the first one. Gabriela Diaz got the second, and Cornell got 2 in back-to-back within seconds of each other. The last one coming with only about 4 or 5 seconds left, because when they put the ball down in midfield, they kicked it once, and they blew the whistle to end the first half. So she scored with probably 5 or 6 seconds left, and the other one wasn't more than 35 or 40 seconds left. And that's where we are, 4-0 St. Mary's, as we start the second half of this next to last soccer game of the season, regular season. As I mentioned, we'll have tournament games. I'm sure we'll have English boys. Congratulations to Kerry King, by the way. He was named the Northeast Conference Coach of the Year, and he should have been. He's been outstanding. He's had his kids playing really well. And even when they had seasons where they did not have the great year they had this year, he still had his kids playing well. He's a very good coach. They really respect him, and they play for him. And he had missed tournaments by a few games, but he had games where he was in all the way. Very seldom that Kerry King's teams get beat badly. And, of course, this year they didn't get beat at all. They had 2 ties, one in the City Series and one against Lynn Classical on a goal that was scored with 7 seconds left in the game to tie it at 1, English leading all the way. So he goes undefeated, wins the conference. We'll get a home game in the state tournament, and hopefully he'll do well in the tournament. Not an easy time for him, because I believe he's in Division 1. And Division 1, he'll have to play some exceptional soccer teams. But when you look back, whatever happens in the tournament, when you look back to the season, and I'm sure at the beginning of the season, if anybody said, you know what, English is going to not lose a game. They're going to have 2 ties, 14 wins. They're going to win the conference championship. Kerry King is going to be the coach of the year. You could have got pretty good odds in Vegas for that, because they were going back to playing Beverly and Danvers and Peabody, because Medford, Malden, and Somerville were voted out of the league. So there weren't going to be too many gimmies. But he got the kids playing well. They bought into what Kerry was coaching, and it paid out well for all of them. Congratulations again to Kerry King and the English Bulldogs. O'Neill gets it back in the middle. Cornell out in front. The Eagle was looking to get the shot off and couldn't. Demers tipped it, but she tipped it too far, and Salem cleared away. Demers is all around, almost getting a shot off and almost making a good pass, and Salem got a foot on it and knocked it away. Cornell tipped it a couple of times. Salem can't clear it out. Egan keeps it in. Salem still can't clear it out. The entire first half was spent virtually in the Salem end. They got one free kick from midfield. They kicked it deep. They kicked it right to Lovett. She kicked it back in the Salem end. Other than that, they didn't get the ball anywhere near the net. Didn't come close to getting a shot off. And didn't get it inside the 30-yard line, maybe even the 40-yard line. The only time they did, if they kicked it deep, they kicked it to a St. Mary's player, and St. Mary's kicked it right back in the Salem end. Like now, they kicked it in the St. Mary's end, and they block and knock it out. And this will be the first time they're going to get a throw-in down deep. They knocked it off St. Mary's. And I thought they knocked it off St. Mary's, but they're calling it off Salem. So they still don't get the throw-in down deep. They haven't had a corner kick. This is their first throw-in on the St. Mary's side of the field. And here's St. Mary's taking it away and bringing it right back in the Salem end. O'Neill knocks it ahead to Demers. One-on-one for the moment. Cuts it back to the middle. Tried to get it in the middle to Egan. It got blocked and knocked away. St. Mary's breaks it up. And they take it away and keep it in the end. They knock it deep. Lovett gets a piece of it. They try to knock it deep again. And there's Mackey taking it away and knocking it deep down the far side. Tipped ahead to Cornell. Knocked ahead to Demers, and she was offside. She was way ahead. She broke when they made the pass to Cornell. Cornell made the pass, but Demers was way offside. Bodies go down. Blocked by St. Mary's. Demers with it. Knocks it deep. And they call St. Mary's offside again. Malinek kicks it away. St. St. Mary's knocks it long and deep, and it's going to go out of play. Sheehu will kick it away. Off O'Neill. Demers tips it to O'Neill down the near side. Trying to center it. Deflect it up. Cornell looking for it. Gives it back to Lovett. Cornell with Diaz. Cornell knocks it deep to O'Neill. Out in front, off Diaz's foot. Battling to get it back, and she does. Still battling. It pops loose. Salem clears it away. Cornell takes it away. Egan, the long pass. Sheehu just got there. Ahead of, I think it was Diaz, breaking down that far side. Might have been Niccolo. And St. Mary's takes it away and keeps it in the Salem end. Egan got a foot on it, popped it up in the air. It hit the top of the net. Bounces back in play, and Salem wound up knocking it out. That was a high pop-up that wound up hitting the middle of the crossbar. Bounced back off a Salem player, and St. Mary's winds up getting a corner kick. O'Neill will take it from the near side. They get a head on it. Morgan Mackey out in front. She came all the way down from her center field defensive spot. Got a head on it and drilled it to the net, and Sheehu made the save. It's 4-0 St. Mary's, but Sheehu has had a nice game. It could have been 7 or 8. She's made some big-time saves, and that was certainly one right there. That was ticket to go in off the head of Mackey. St. Mary's picks off the pass and keeps it in the Salem end. Cornell with a nice little shift. Pass a little bit too far ahead. Deflects away. Cornell gets it back. Tips it to O'Neill. Just saved it. Diaz. She was going to go by. She actually stepped on the ball, and the ball stayed, and she kept going. And then it got knocked out of play. Egan trying to get around, looking to get a shot off. Finally knocked away. St. Mary's takes it away. Trying to center it out in front. Niccolo deflected it to the net. It got blocked by a defender out in front. And St. Mary's takes it right back. But they carried it out. They made a little shift in front of the St. Mary's bench, but they took it out of play. And Mary's takes it away. Cornell. Off O'Neill. Demers gets it back. Pass a little bit behind Egan. Cornell tips it back to Egan. They get it to O'Neill on the near side. Cornell just got a foot on it and tipped it to Demers. Out in front. I think that was Niccolo breaking to the net, got a foot on it and couldn't deflect it into the net. Demers threw it out in front. It was Diaz cutting in front. Good job by Diaz to set up the play. Here she comes again. Deflected back. And they bang it out off Lovett. And it goes out. Keeping it in, trying to center it, blocked. O'Neill gets it back. Demers to Egan. From long range, the shot. See who makes the save. That was Mateo. No, that was Morgan Mackey with the shot. And they carry it in, but St. Mary's takes it away. And it gets knocked out by Salem. This is the deepest penetration, and it's knocked away. And Mackey knocks it upfield and knocks it out into the Salem bench area. This is their deepest throwing of the day. They tip it down deep. They have it. And it gets knocked out, and knocked out by Salem. And those three, actually 4 subs, will change places for St. Mary's. Headed away. Cornell pushes it ahead. Gets there first, pushes it again. Tries to center it. See who comes out, slides and picks it off right ahead of, I think it was Egan and Demers. Were both going to the net looking for the ball. See who slid right between the two of them and picked it off. Good job by the goaltender. Lovett knocks it back. Salem coming down the near side. Lovett knocks it away. And it goes out off St. Mary's. So the last couple of trips, Salem has got as deep as they've been the entire game. Another throw in down deep. Deflected to Mackey. She carries it up, knocks it deep, looking for Cornell. Trying to throw it in front. Gets it to the side of the net. She who comes out and picks it off. I think she's trying to get the Demers out in front. I hope Demers might be able to get a piece of it. Diaz picks it off. Ahead to Demers. Demers will track it down. Knocked away. That was Fritz, I think, that stepped right over it, swung and missed. And it went out off St. Mary's. It'll be the boys against Salem Academy in the next one. In this one, St. Mary's girls, they're well on their way to getting a 2-game sweep. On the boys' side, St. Mary's boys will be looking for a split. Salem Academy beat them the first game. They knocked it back and they gave it to Cornell. She knocks it deep, and Demers, using that speed, is going to get there first. Good defense. They knocked it away. Demers gets it back. Nice little shift. She went right around and got the shot. She's so quick. She beat everybody to the ball. I think it was Malinek made a very nice play, knocking it away. Demers got it back, made a great little spin around, getting by the defense, and couldn't get a lot on it. Got a shot middle of the net. She was able to make the save. Love it upfield, tipped. Salem knocks it up. They knock it too far. It's going to go out of play. Love it will take the throw in. Mackey with it. Headed out. They missed the header that time. Salem knocks it high and deep. And St. Mary's takes it away. Keeps it in the Salem end. Demers, boy, she's very aggressive. She just says, get out of my way, here I come. Mackey with the header, carrying it in. Broken up. Blocked. Blocked again. Demers walking in. Slips it out in front, and they score. Nice little... Demers did a lot of work, got it. And I think Diaz just got her second goal. Good hard work by Demers. Trying to pick up the number of the goal scorer. I don't think it was Diaz. It was Katie O'Neill that got the goal. Off that nice little feed by Demers. And here she comes again. Trying to tip it toward the net. Salem knocks it away. I love it. Knocks it out. Deflected back. St. Mary's picks off the pass. They get by down the far side, trying to throw it in front. Nobody there except she who the goaltender grabs it and holds on. Past the halfway mark of this second half, St. Mary's comfortably on top. They're going to pick up their 11th win, or 10th win, excuse me. They'll go 10-6-2. And this one gets by everybody. Mackey hustles over, collects it, and quickly brings it back the other way. They pop it deep. Salem was back there to play it. And they bang it out off St. Mary's. Demers, there's that speed again, getting around, throwing it out in front. It kind of hooked away from Egan, breaking to the net. She was going out in front to get it. Love it. Looking for it. Salem knocks it away. It'll be a corner kick for St. Mary's. Coming from the far side, the corner kick. We haven't had too many of these. In fact, that might have been the first. I shouldn't say that. O'Neill had a couple. They slip it out in front. Blocked. Couldn't get the shot off. I think they were just very surprised that pass came through. And there's Demers again. Shot. See who goes high in the air and makes the save. Might have been wide, might have been under the top crossbar, might have gone in. She made sure she made the save. Down the far side. Again, trying to center it. Salem got a piece of it. Knocking it away and knocking it out of play. Headed upfield. He kind of overran it. They get it back to Diaz, a little bit behind the back. And they blew the whistle for one of the St. Mary's players. Is having a problem. And they get the trainer out to look. She's standing straight up, holding her hands up over her head. Let's hope it's nothing serious. But she wasn't down on the ground. She was standing straight up. That's why I didn't think there was anybody down. She was just standing up with her hands together, folded up over her head, pointing to the sky. I don't know if it's a back Ms. Gagnon, the trainer, is out there doing her usual great job. That was Katie O'Neill, and that was kind of really, I don't think I've ever seen that before. She was standing up on the field, her hands together, pointed straight up in the air, and when they walked her off, her hands were still straight up in the air, pointing up to the sky. So Katie O'Neill, St. Mary's, we told you, they're a mass unit now. They don't want to lose any more players. Let's hope that's not very serious. She's going to be okay. "15 minutes and counting left in this one. This one's been over for a while. I think you can tell it's over because they've got their best defensive player, Morgan Mackey, playing up front. And Cornell back. Cornell's got a couple of goals to score. Her 2 goals, seconds apart at the end of the first half, ballooning that score to 4-0. Demers trying to hit Egan in front, and she tipped it away. Demers is not going to be able to save it. Well, they're calling it off Salem, so Demers will take the throw-in. Lovett. Cornell. Pass deflected away. Egan, the pass into Demers, cutting in. Back to Egan. Shot blocked out in front. This is the way it's been through most of the game. St. Mary's just controlling. Salem doing their best to just keep it from getting a shot or a goal. Never mind trying to get upfield and get a shot or a goal of their own. They haven't had a shot the entire day. Lovett. Constein. Egan tips it back the other way. Cornell with it to the far side. They pop it up out in front. Deflects off. Demers got a foot on it, but she couldn't really shoot it to the net. She got the side of her foot on it and knocked it wide. Salem knocks it away. Lovett hustles and keeps it in. Salem knocks it out of play. Demers will take a seat. Boy, she really is a player. There's no question she's going to play at the next level. She's like one of those players that we've had different people on different teams, like the Celtics. Danny Ainge was one of them. Just missed the far post. They could buy everybody. And just missed going inside the far post. That was Egan, I believe. You get those players that when they play for you, you love them dearly. When you play against them, you want to kill them. You say, you know, I mean, she scores goals. She's very aggressive. From long range, blocked out in front, off the side of the foot. Egan tracks it down, still with it, trying to center it. Salem knocks it away, and that's what that's been their goal all day long. Just stand out in front of the net, get it, knock it away, and don't let the ball go in the net. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to do it with great success, but that's been the norm. They haven't been able to get anything going at all offensively. They weren't in the St. Mary's end virtually at all in the first half. They've only been there a couple of times in the second half, and they haven't come close. As we mentioned before, Eliza Brown could have bought a ticket for this game. She's just watching her teammates perform. Ten minutes and counting left in this one. So he's got a big 4-goal jump in the first half. 2 of them by Susanna Cornell, with coming within 20 or 30 seconds of each other, and at the last 20 or 30 seconds, the last one was 6 or 7 seconds or less left in the half, and that made it 4-0. They've added one by O'Neill, and again, we hope O'Neill is okay on the bench. Lovett will take the throw in. And we're going to get a change in goal. And the only other goaltender I know St. Mary's is Adri Bowker. I don't know if that's her or not, because all we've had is Eliza Brown all year. Cornell gets the pass from Lovett. Egan trying to walk in, broken up. Salem breaks it up again. St. Mary's gets there first and takes it away. Blocked by St. Mary's. Try to knock it deep. Constantine is there to knock it away. Knocked out by Salem. Love it again with the throw-in. Salem knocks it out again. Lovett knocks it out. Blocked by Diaz again. Hustling, tips it, Mackey with it to Cornell. Looking to go to the net, get as close as you can with Egan breaking. Where's St. Mary's sub? St. Mary's gets it back again. Cornell. Pass deflected. She heads it back. They knock it deep. St. Mary's back there to collect. They knock it right back on the Salem end, but they knocked it into the St. Mary's bench area, out of play. They were lucky they weren't scheduling these games for tomorrow. because tomorrow is supposed to be very, very heavy winds and rain. As I say, heavy winds and rain. That's as close as Salem Academy has come to a goal. They knocked it deep. We believe it's Balka. Came all the way out of the net. Slid, got it, lost it, and Salem Academy had the ball with a wide open net, and it might have been Constantine who came over hustling and knocked it away just as they were lining up a shot, and that's as close as they've come to getting a shot on net. As I just mentioned, I think it's starting to rain now, but tomorrow it's supposed to be just, if you don't have to go anywhere, don't go anywhere. Shot, they chip it wide right. That's one of the few legitimate chances they had. That breakaway that I believe it was Constantine who just hustled up and knocked the ball away just as she was getting a shot into an open net. And that last one where she got a pretty good shot but chipped it wide right. So they still don't have a shot on net. With time winding down here, Salem will knock it out. So the rain is coming a little bit early now. The girls are going to get the best of it. They're going to get out of here before any real rain comes. The boys are lining up to play in the rain. Salem picked off the pass and knocked it out. And this is what normally, every other sport, hockey, basketball, football, people in the stands, people on the sideline know how much time is left, know the clock is running out. The coaches can adjust in case, whatever the situation. But here in this, it used to be you shut the clock off with 2 minutes left. Now you shut the clock off with 5 minutes left. And nobody except the official knows how much time is left. And what cracks me up is, why don't they just call it? The game is 5-0, St. Mary's. Salem doesn't have a shot on net. Nobody's going to say, wait a minute, that wasn't 5 minutes. What are you doing? Losing coach is not going to squawk. Winning coach is not going to squawk. The fans now sitting in the rain with their umbrellas up are certainly not going to squawk. So I don't know what benefit it gets from playing like the last 2 minutes of a game that's out of sight. I mean, this game hasn't been competitive for a long time. And I don't know what the point is of where the only one person, only one of the officials knows the clock. So he could just blow the whistle and say, that's it. It's one thing if it's 1-0 or even 2-0. But when it's 5-0, the other team doesn't have a shot on net, and St. Mary's is totally dominated. I don't understand prolonging the agony here and having people sit out in the rain. So Salem Academy is going to go to 10-6-3. St. Mary's will go to 10-6-2. And it was a bit of a game score-wise with 2-0, but then with very little time left, Cornell knocked in a goal. And then with 5 or 6 seconds left, she got her second one. So she got 2 goals within about 25 or 30 seconds. Made it 4-0 at halftime, and that was it. They blow the whistle, and that'll do it. So St. Mary's on senior night gets a big 5-0 win. Salem Academy never came close. The one time they came close, a long pass, the goaltender for St. Mary's, we believe it was Balco, came out, slid, got a piece of it, tipped it. It got tipped away, and when it got tipped away, the Salem player had a wide open at the shoot, and we believe it was Constantine, the defender, who came up and from behind knocked the ball away. They never got the shot off, and that's as close as they came to getting a shot on net. So we're going to take a brief break because we are going to have senior night now. They're going to introduce the seniors, both the boys and the girls, for St. Mary's. So we'll take a brief break. We'll be right back. The seniors are being introduced for the girls. I had to get my list to make sure I knew. Riley Lynch was the first one. Gabby Diaz is the second. Kayla Demers, outstanding player. These young ladies finishing up a very good career at St. Mary's. They've made the tournament just about every year. They went deep in the tournament a few years. They battled for the Catholic Central League Championship just about every year. This year they had a MASH unit. Katie O'Neill, it's nice to see she's okay. She's the one we believe that went out. Looked like she was hurt, but she seems to be okay. Thank God for that. This young lady has been, we talked about everything, all New England, all state, all conference. Morgan Mackey. They missed her a few games this year, and that's a big loss. She's an outstanding player. And last but not least, for the girls, will be Emily Egan. And then at the same time, they'll honor the seniors, the boys. Emily Egan did a nice job. She filled in very nicely when Morgan Mackey went out. She's a big part of the St. Mary's success the last few years. And now we'll have 4 of the 5 boys. There's 4 here, one is not here. But there's 5. So congratulations to the senior girls. We wish them the best, and hopefully we'll see them again in the state tournament going deep. And now for the boys. Matt Spencer. Makes me feel old. I coached his father in CYO basketball. Calvin Hune. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Another one of the seniors. They only have 5. They graduated all their seniors last year. they've been playing with 7th and 8th graders this year. These seniors who used to have so much success for St. Mary's, they got spoiled over their 3 years, and now everybody graduates and they're playing with 7th and 8th graders, and it's shown. Louis Chajon or Chajon. That was Matt Gallego. That was number 12. This is Louis Chajon. The 4 seniors who are here. Kevin Perez finishing up a great career at St. Mary's. He hasn't played the last few games. So congratulations to all the seniors. For my alma mater, I graduated, I'm not going to tell you what year. I was at the Wadhurst in Peabody yesterday with a bunch of my fellow graduates from St. Mary's. We had our 63rd get-together, and we'll do another one in April. Some outstanding gentlemen, some outstanding athletes, and it's great to see them every so often that we're still hanging around. So I'm always glad to see the seniors do well. So congratulations to all the seniors for St. Mary's. We wish them the best in their future endeavors. And good luck to all of them, both the boys and the girls. And they have represented themselves, their city, their school, their parents extremely well over these 4 years. So again, congratulations to all the seniors. That's going to do it. The end of the girls' game, 5-0, St. Mary's over Salem Academy. It'll be time for the boys to take center stage. So, but this one is over. 5-0 the girls. They sweep the series against Salem Academy. And again, congratulations to all the seniors. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Don Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.